everyone, and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing volume 30 in the series Komi Can't Communicate by Tomohito Oda. This is what the cover looks like. I've been reading the series for a while and this was a newer release, so we're going to dive in and discuss what is in volume 30, what I loved about this, and what I would give as a rating for this volume. And of course, please leave your thoughts on volume 30 down below so we can compare how we both felt about this volume. Let's dive in. So this book was kind of all over the place in the sense that there were a lot of vignettes and a lot of finishing of different little things. There wasn't really one cohesive narrative like we've seen in other volumes where maybe the whole volume was focused on a festival, or the whole volume was focused on relationship building, or the whole volume was focused on study camp. This one kind of has a lot of different scenes. So I'm going to break down some of the more important ones and some of my thoughts on them. But some of the parts that are covered in this include the conclusion of study camp, which has occupied some of the previous volumes, some miscellaneous scenes with characters, which I'll discuss. There's also a section focusing on post-graduation plans. Our characters in this series are in high school, of course, so they are going to be thinking about the end of high school and where they would like their future to go. And there is also a Summerfest section in which people are working or enjoying a summer festival and they want to, what interactions they have, who they meet, what happens in the Summerfest. I think that in a lot of these Komi volumes where there isn't one overarching plot, or even when there is one, there's usually one scene or one chapter that stands out above all of the rest. And for this book, this volume, it is not the scene that is depicted on the cover. This is not the highlight of the book. This is from the conclusion of summer camp, or study camp, and then there's just some girls on the back here. But the best part of this, which I will say for the end of the video, is not depicted on the cover and definitely changed the rating that I gave this book overall. So the first part is the conclusion of study camp. It's fine. It's kind of the Komi making peace with this other girl who is competing for Tadano's affections. I do not understand the obsession with love rivals that some of these books have. I'm not rivaling anyone. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it's because I'm not 17, but I don't understand the obsession with love rivals. Like, Tadano's not going to like you because you win the festival. And if Tadano is entertaining some weird competition between two girls to see who likes him more, maybe neither of them should date him. But that's just me speaking as someone who has a developed prefrontal cortex. These girls don't, so who knows? So it was kind of a sweet, touching moment as she realizes that she has more to offer than just to boys, I guess. And we did conclude the study camp arc. Then there were some miscellaneous scenes of just characters interacting with each other. I think the author's throwing more and more of these in because he has quite a roster of characters that he's developed, and he wants to kind of show off their characteristics and them interacting with each other. So he just creates little scenes. There's of course the reconvening of the group that looks for dirty magazines on the riverbank, which I thought was quite funny, but there's just a lot of random scenes where characters are interacting with each other. So we have quite a bit throughout this book. So at this point I'm like, okay, the volume is occurring, and that's where I was at. There was a scene where there was a reoccurrence of an American friend who was featured minorly in a previous volume. I thought it was kind of funny. She's kind of loud. She has this crazy hair. All of her actions are very much not like the others. And everyone's of course speaking English with her. I think she's kind of crazy and I really like her. She has all this hair. I thought she was kind of funny. I liked all of her mannerisms. I guess maybe this is a caricature of how they view Americans, but I thought it was funny. And a little introduction to the American character. Again, another character from the roster that the author is working in, having Komi hang out with some of the girls instead of just focusing on her and Tadano. I like that. There was a scene where there was a compromising trip where Tadano and Komi are hanging out and then they trip over each other. That never happens in real life. Never in 27 years have I accidentally tripped and fallen into a compromising situation with a guy. Like, that doesn't happen. That's a manga trope. So I kind of rolled my eyes at that scene. Maybe that does happen to other people and I'm just unique, but I've never like tripped and fallen seductively under a man in real life. That doesn't happen. Now, at this point, we're like 3/4 of the way through the book, and I was like, okay, this is just like a meh volume to me. And then the last chapter happened, which single-handedly raised my rating of this volume from like a 3-star to like a 4-star. And that was Manbagi. Okay, I have a personal confession and an unpopular opinion, I'm sure. I like Manbagi more than I like Komi. I know, I said it. Okay, I like Monbagi more than I like Komi. Komi's fine, Komi's lovable, Komi's sweet. Monbagi has personality. Monbagi, that may sound like Komi doesn't have personality, but Komi's kind of shy and quiet. Well, Monbagi is out there, she's unapologetically her, and Komi I think is also unapologetically being herself as well, but in a different manner. But Monbagi is the girl that you want to see win, and she hasn't won yet. She was the one who gracefully didn't win Tadano's attention. She was the one who stayed with Komi anyways. She is just doing her own thing. She has her friends, her own sense of style. She has some fears about her future and where she's going to go that we see discussed in this book. And she single-handedly, I feel like, elevates the series whenever she appears. I love Monbagi. You can't help but cheer for her, and she is finally getting some of the wins, some of the recognition, the attention that I feel like she deserves in this volume. She starts to talk to and discuss with this boy named Wakai, who plays on the soccer team, who is very nervous around girls, but Monbagi starts talking to him and they go out together for a little adventure at the summer festival, and we start to see a little bit of a romance or feelings develop between these two, both Wakai's personal development with himself and his shyness to talk to girls, and Monbagi finally falling for someone, and someone who isn't unavailable emotionally because they're in love with someone else. I love Monbagi. I love this whole scene. I'm cheering for Monbagi. Every time I see her, I want her to win. I'm so happy that we finally got that last section, and that single-handedly was the best part of the book. That was like a 4.5-star section for me right there. Just them interacting at Summerfest, a little bit of the slow burn. We get a little bit of a talk about feelings. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. That section at the end of the book single-handedly raised my star rating of this from like a 3-star to over a 4-star. And I want to know if other people feel the same way. I know my unpopular opinion about me liking Monbagi more than Komi might not be popular amongst people. And that's not to say I dislike Komi, but I like something about Monbagi just speaks to me in a way that Komi doesn't. Well, Komi's fantastic to watch and fun. Monbagi is just more fun. I don't know. I feel like women, I don't know. I don't want to be like, she's not like other girls, because Monbagi does have the, well, like a little bit of a different like style and outgoingness, but I don't know. I just want Monbagi to win and find happiness. I think that's what this is. It's not that she's better than Komi. It's that I finally want to see her win, and we're finally starting to see this, and I enjoy watching her, and every time she's on screen, I love it. So I want to know what you thought about Monbagi, and if you read volume 30, what you thought about that last sequence, if you liked it and what you thought about it. Would love to hear it. So please let me know, and also let me know how you've been enjoying the series so far. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this series, because I have been enjoying it. What volumes you thought were weaker, if you agree or disagree with any of my opinions. Please let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of my day.